Running back Barry Sanders. I don't have the full Oprah voice, I'm saying.
The man.
So thank you. It was good enough for you. Barry, you're here as a part of Sports Nation Madden 25 cover vote, is that right?
I am.
So you, from my understanding, you're facing Joe Montana in the old school bracket in the semifinals. Tell us a little bit about this contest and how folks at home can vote for you if they wanted to.
Well, folks at home can vote by going online or by Twitter.
Okay.
And, you know, they have, in my bracket, it's me against Joe Montana, and I think the other bracket is Jerry Rice against Deion Sanders. We're like the final four of who's going to go on the cover of Madden 25, brought to you by EA Sports.
Okay.
And so,
what are your chances? You think you
my chances? You know, I think they're decent. They're decent. I mean, I got past Ray Lewis last week. Wow. You know, and so if you can beat Ray, I mean, you can beat anybody
at that point.
So, right, exactly.
Do you mind? I've had a question I've been dying to ask you. What the hell happened to the Detroit Lions? They were 10-6 the year before last. Last year they were 4-12. A 6-game drop-off. They lost the last 8 games of the year. I know you follow this team. You're the biggest star ever. What on earth happened to them?
Great question. Well, I think a couple of things. I think we were certainly counting on being able to have that extra punch with Java Best at running back. I think that certainly hurt us. And I think when that happened, you know, we became pretty one-dimensional. And, you know, you can... you know, I think a lot of it can be placed there. I think defensively we probably didn't play as well as we could have, but certainly offensively, you know, we had 2 young running backs who did a good job, but they don't, you know, that element of being able to take it in from 60, 70 that we saw from Java, and also being able to catch the ball in the backfield, I think really hurt us.
I've been big on the fact that Schwartz, although I credit him with sort of resurrecting the franchise to some degree and getting it turned in the right direction, at the same time, I think that, you know, this kind of maverick, renegade kind of mentality or persona they seem to have been wearing on their sleeve, I think that ultimately, you know, sift through the organization, and it hurt them last season. Watching them, in terms of things that happen off the field or whatever the case may be, what do you think about the culture of the Detroit Lions as presently constructed?
Well, what I would say is that, you know, let's remember where we're coming from. You know, we can't only just start with I guess it's the 2011 season where we made the playoffs.
Okay.
Let's look back prior to those years. And, you know, we had pretty much been given a death sentence. You know, we were coming from below ground zero. And so I think Coach Schwartz has done an admirable job of bringing the franchise back to at least some respectability. We have one of the best players in the league in Calvin Johnson. And you have to build around that, you know, and last year was certainly a step backwards. But you know, I certainly have a lot of hope for this year, and you know, as the Bears kind of figure out their situation, I think we're standing right there at a solid number 2 in that division.
Okay. Speaking of game breakers that you lacked last year, you have added a Reggie Bush that your coach Schwartz yesterday said could catch 60 to 80 balls this year. So let's let Barry Sanders sort of evaluate Reggie Bush as a running back / pass catcher.
Oh, I love the decision to bring in Reggie. I think that he's the guy that we're looking for, you know, to fill that void of a guy who can hit a home run and as you pointed out, also catch the ball out of the backfield. I hope he really does reach that number, certainly of catching the ball out of the backfield. We know what he can do in open space.
Is there any Barry in him at all? Have you ever seen any flash of Barry in Reggie, even back to USC?
No, I think if he can give us what he gave the Dolphins the last 2 years, 1,000 yards a year rushing, I think that would be more than enough for us.
And he ran between the tackles a little more in the last couple of years. I didn't think he really could do that consistently, but he did better at it.
And you know, the thing about that is, you know, when you have a Calvin Johnson on the field, then it's going to help a Reggie Bush so much more. And so this could really be a great pickup for us. So because Reggie hasn't played with a guy like a Calvin Johnson. So we could see some big numbers from him.
Is it fair to assume that you believe Adrian Peterson's the best running back in the game today?
No, he is. He is.
Okay.
He's fantastic.
Who's the best ever?
The best ever?
The best ever.
I think you have to go with Mr. Brown. You have to go with Mr. Brown. I think the way
Jim Brown.
Yeah. Jim Brown.
Is there another Brown?
I'm just making sure. A lot of people out there may not know. A lot of people out there may not know. I do.
Right, yeah. I mean, the way he dominated the game during his era, I think definitely makes him the top running back and maybe the top player in NFL history.
This crown rule that's been put out there. Obviously, the NFL is trying to make the game so much safer, and you can't hit it with the crown. I mean, what are your thoughts about this and how that will impact the NFL game?
It is a difficult rule change. It's difficult.
Is it fair?
It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't seem like it's fair. They must have, certainly they have a good reason for implementing this new rule. I always thought the running backs, they never hurt anybody on the field. We're trying to get away from most of the contact, but
okay.
It certainly feels difficult, like it's a difficult change. But it's something we're gonna have to adjust to.
Did you ever lower your head and hit anybody helmet to helmet?
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
Right. But I know Earl Campbell did.
Yes,
I know Walter Payton did.
Yeah. Fantastic players, and we all love that style of play, and it's difficult. That's certainly a difficult rule change.
All right.
Barry Sanders, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck with